Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is to be together in community to celebrate Shabbat, even when it's hot outside, to be together in our third floor space. Shabbat shalom. And Shabbat Shalom to those joining us by live stream as well, our virtual community. We are going to bring in Shabbat together with the lighting of the candles. I'll invite Ben Axelrod up to light our candles, and I'll invite everyone to rise in body or spirit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. We take out the Siddur, Lev Shalem, and turn to page 10, Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman Mishoch Avdach Eretzonak Yarut Avdach Kemo Continue on page 11. Lechud ranena l'Adonai nariya litzur yishenu nekama fanav b'torah. Ki hu Eloheinu Arba'im shana kut bedor v'amar amtu elevavhem v'hem lo yadu derachai asher nishpati v'api im yivon el menuchati. We'll continue on page 13 with Shir L'Adonai. Shiru L'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru L'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru L'Adonai baruch shemo, basru miyom liyom yeshuato. Shiru L'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru L'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru L'Adonai baruch shemo, basru miyom liyom yeshuato. Sapru v'goyim kevodo, v'chol ha'amim niflotav, ki gadol Adonai u'mhula me'od, norahu al kol Elohim. Shiru L'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru L'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru L'Adonai baruch shemo, basru miyom liyom yeshuato. Ki kol Elohei ha'amim elilim, v'Adonai shamayim asa, hod v'hadar lefanav, oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho. Shiru L'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru L'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru L'Adonai baruch shemo, basru miyom liyom yeshuato. We'll continue on page 14. לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים באמונתו. We'll turn now to page 20 for Roman Mill. Continue on page 21. Please rise as you're able. Be seated.
We turn now to page 23 for Lecha Dodi, welcoming in Shabbat.
בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי
Shabbat. Let's welcome each other. Turn to your right, to your left. Greet someone you've never met before. All right, we'll continue the conversation at oneg. For now, we can be seated and turn to page 28.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני מזמור שיר ליום השבת וזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות עלי עשור
We turn now to the cutest part of our service, blessing the children. If you are under the age of bar or bat mitzvah, I'll invite you up to receive your blessing. I think we're small but mighty in that age group tonight, so please, if you're joining us via live stream, bring your young ones close to you and join us for the blessing. It's okay, we have little legs. Yasimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim v'chi Menashe, Yasimech ke'Sara Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May God make you like Ephraim and Menashe, and like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and protect you. May God shine the divine light upon you and keep you. And may God grant you always the greatest gift of all, peace.
לדור ודור נגיד קולך, לדור
Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for joining us up here. While we arrive at Shabbat celebrating countless blessings, many of us also come here in a moment to pray for those in our lives who are in need of healing of the body, of the mind, of the soul, maybe those struggling with mental illness or addiction. If you have someone on your mind for whose healing you are praying, I'll invite you to rise in body or spirit as the cantor leads us in the Mishaberach. Refuah Shlema, a full and speedy recovery. You may be seated. We turn now to a pause, to a moment of memorial. This week, we lost Rabbi Harlan J. Wexler. We mourn his loss alongside his family, his children, Rabbi Ezra Micah Amichai and Malka Chana Dror, as well as his many grandchildren. This week, we also recall, always in our hearts, but especially this week of their yahrzeit, Paul Antel, Maliha Benayan, Yagub Benayan, Barbara Bauman, Hirsch Leib Bimko, Hendla Bimko, Howard Cantor, Talia Joy Castellano, Edmund Charno, Donald Cohen, Eileen Cohen, Jay Cohen, Jeffrey Cohen, Jean Corman, Leon Feiner, Carol Friedman Finkel, Norma Gewurz, Ruth B. Gold, Murray Goldblum, Leah Goldman, Margaret Goldstein, Sanford Gradinger, Leslie Michael Groman, Marcella Haas, Bernard Jankoff, Joseph Kalman, Nathan Kaplinsky, Carol Kerr, Rita Karp, Gail Carr, Walter Katz, Joshua Kushel, Susan Lerner, Caroline Levy, Frank Lifshitz, Lois London, Milton Majewski, Max Medvin, Sharon Mendelo, Gloria Michael, Stuart Minnix, Florence Mitchell, Barnett Mitzman, Michael Mortman, Sophie Muchnick, Edward Munns Jr., Jack Nash, Miriam Nelson, Daniel W. Offit, Mitchell Penn, Walter Peretz, Audrey Perlmutter, Solomon Pollock, Benjamin Prejewitz, Irving Rodwiner, Leon Rafalowitz, Maliha Rastegar, Howard Ringel, Rhoda Rosenblum, Menachem Mendel Rosensaft, Adele Rubens, Norman Salet, Jack Schechter, Natalie Schoenfeld, Bernard Shimshak, Alex Smallberg, Leah Sternberg, Robert Sylvester, Mark Teitelbaum, Edda Theipen, Rhoda Wiener, and Reba West. May their memories be for a blessing. If you're in a period of mourning or observing a yahrzeit, I'll invite you to rise as we turn to page 30 for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shmei Rabbah. Be'alma divra kirutei ve'amlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates peace on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, and we say amen. We remain standing or rise for Baruch Hu, our call to prayer, to begin the evening Marif service, page 39a.
Page 40. ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We'll continue on privately with the words of the Shema through page 42. Adonai Elohechem Amet. We'll continue on the top of page 44. Umalchuto beratzon kibalu alehem, Moshe Miriam uvnei Yisrael achanu shira b'simcha rabba ve'amru chulam. Nora יפאר אדוני את יעקב וגואלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Shabbat Shalom. How can you hate me when you don't even know me? This is the question that African-American blues musician Daryl Davis has posed to hundreds of members of the Ku Klux Klan and other hate groups. After meeting a KKK member in a Georgia bar who complimented Davis's music before sharing that he had never in his life before had a real conversation with a Black person, Davis was inspired to dedicate his life to creating real human connections with members of the KKK to show them who exactly they hated. Over the past 35 plus years, Davis has gone out of his way at great personal risk to attend KKK rallies, where he works to befriend members and engage with them in non-judgmental conversation. And his efforts have worked. More than 200 former members of the hate group have given up their ideologies and their robes as a direct result of Davis's intervention. But how do we end up in situations like this in the first place? Situations where we are so committed to our own ideologies that we can go through life without ever encountering the other. Why do we hold so tightly to our biases and our prejudices? What makes us trust our own experiences deeply enough that we risk spreading hate as a result? This week's Parsha, Matot Maseh, offers us one extreme of commitment to an idea, nedarim, or vows. In the Parsha we read, if anyone makes a vow to God or takes an oath imposing an obligation on themselves, they shall not break their pledge. They must carry out all that has crossed their lips. One might choose to vow not to do something, to abstain from meat or from wine, for instance, or alternatively, to carry out an action of thanksgiving in God's name in exchange for a miracle or something else from God. And while in our Parsha, Nedarim, these vows may seem benign, we learn later in the book of Judges just how dangerous one of these vows can be. In the book of Judges, Yiftach, an Israelite general, makes a vow that if God leads him and his troops to victory against the Ammonites, he will, in return, sacrifice the first thing that comes out of his house to greet him upon his triumphant return. Much to Yiftach's dismay, it is none other than his own daughter who runs out of the house to greet him. Recognizing the seriousness of breaking a vow to God, Yiftach regretfully sacrifices his daughter. In the Torah, there is no way to take back a vow, and Yiftach's story demonstrates the dangerous extremes made possible by the system of vows. The rabbis of the Mishnah and the Talmud later recognized the deep spiritual and physical dangers of such a system, however, and they understand that it is incumbent upon them to build a system that allows a person to dissolve a vow. If a person can bring a convincing enough reason, the sages are able to declare a standing vow null and void. Why might a person want to annul his or her vow? Of course, there is the extreme example of Yiftach, but the rabbis also list far more mundane reasons. Perhaps someone vowed never to do business with one of his fellows, but that fellow later became a scribe or a teacher of Torah from whom the maker of the vow wishes to learn. Or perhaps a person vowed never to enter a certain home and found that years later, that home was converted into a synagogue, and the vower needs a place to worship. There are countless ways that the world and our knowledge of the world can change, and we need to be able to change our approach in response. Now, we don't often see Jews making vows in the traditional sense, but we can still recognize the dangers of a system that does not allow us to adapt to circumstances as we learn new information. More often than not, in today's world, these extreme commitments are to ideologies or to predetermined ways of thinking. And in making absolute commitments to these ideologies, we leave no room for ourselves to change. We abandon the desire we might have to learn and the impulses we might have to grow. When we refuse to open ourselves up to new possibilities, all we do is reinforce our biases. What can we learn, then, from the rabbinic system of vow dissolution about how to let go of ideas and when to let go of ideas that no longer serve us? As the rabbis evaluate the legitimacy of different ways a Jew might approach a sage to annul a vow, they propose and reject many reasons for such an annulment, until Rabbi Meir finally offers a formulation that sparks no disagreement. In Rabbi Meir's suggestion, the sage is to ask the maker of the vow, "Would you still have made this vow if you had known that in doing so, you would cause yourself to violate the prohibitions against vengeance and hatred, or you would cause yourself to violate the commandments to be neighborly and care for the needy?" A vower who replies that he would not have made the vow had he realized its potentially hateful impacts may be allowed to annul his vow. The mitzvot, the commandments that are significant enough to override the laws of nedarim, the laws of these vows, are not those commandments between a Jew and God. Rather, they are the commandments that guide our way of behaving towards our fellow man. Realizing that our beliefs are causing us to act hatefully toward others is what must spur us to change. And luckily, we no longer need a sage's permission to make those changes. In the story of Daryl Davis's efforts to transform the outlook of KKK members, it is not only he who should be praised for what he has done. Just as we find inspiration in Davis's courage, so too can we find inspiration in those courageous enough to learn from him, to admit they were wrong, and to put away their robes for good. Shabbat Shalom. We turn now to page 45 for Hashkivenu, asking for God's protection in the night.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, vehamidenu makeinu lechaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, shlomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, vehamidenu makeinu lechaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We'll continue on the top of page 46. Please rise, whether that's in body or in spirit. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-shabbat, lasot et ha-shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יקרא ויקרא שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה ברכו לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן amen.
We continue on page 47 with the private Amidah, praying the words of the page or the words of our heart. Once you've completed your Amidah, you may be seated.
עושה continue on page 54 with Kaddish Shalem. Yitgara v'kara shemei Rabba be'alma divrat kirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayachon u'vyomachon u'v'chay tochel beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman karev v'yamru amin. Yesh me Rabba mevarach le'alam u'me'amayah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmir kudshah b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiram ba'alma v'yimru amin. Tika bal tzalot zehonu v'al zehon d'chol Yisrael koram uv'hondi v'yishmaya v'yimru amin. Yehi shlom Rabba min Shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'ol kol Yisrael v'yimru amin. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'ol kol Yisrael v'yimru amin. Amen.
We rise in body or spirit for Kiddush on page 55, and I'll invite Nicholas Castaño to lead us.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh Zecher Yitziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta Ve'otanu kidashta Mikol ha'amim Ve'shabbat kodshecha Be'ahava uv'ratzon Hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
We remain standing and turn to Aleinu, page 56.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol la'tet gerula li'yotzer brishit Shelo asanu kegoye haratzot velo asamanu k'mishpachot ha'adama Shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gor alinu kechol hamonam va'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech melchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu l'tishma v'seretz. Kakatuv b'toratacha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
If you're in a period of mourning or observing a yahrzeit, I'll invite you to remain standing for Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. Yitzgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah be'alma divra kirutei ve'amlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei almayah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min Shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. You may be seated. Shabbat shalom. Thank you to everyone here with us in person and everyone joining us via live stream who made this beautiful service possible. Thank you especially to our usher, Francis Shackett, who I see over there in the doorway. Tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m., families with children newborn through second grade are invited to attend our Young Family Shabbat Shalanu here at 87th Street. This musical morning service is designed for families to learn about and celebrate Shabbat together. Young families, please also join us on Friday, July 24th for our Young Family Kabbalat Shabbat and dinner, also here at 87th Street. We'll welcome Shabbat with a musical service before enjoying a child-friendly dinner together. You can register on our website. And here at Park Avenue Synagogue, we have a tradition to welcome anyone who's here joining us for the first time. So if this is your very first time here at Park Avenue Synagogue, I'll invite you to raise your hand and share where you're joining us from. Welcome from South Africa, long flight. Anyone else?
Arnold, New York.
Welcome.
Los Angeles.
Welcome. We're happy to have you all here in our community. Everyone is invited after the service to an oneg right here in the lobby. We'll conclude with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nina Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.